What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the red color. Playing as Isis. His name is Shadowfaxx. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is Yoshii. Oh, this is exciting. This is exciting. We haven't seen an Egyptian war. I don't think we've seen an Egypt. Well, we have seen a couple of Egyptian wars, I tell a lie, but we haven't seen this type of Egyptian war yet, I don't believe. An Isis versus Set matchup. I'm very surprised to see Shadowfaxx going for Isis here. For those of you following the tournament at home, the winner of this series, effectively, let's talk about it. If Shadowfaxx doesn't win this series, he has no chance of getting to the playoffs. So it's a must-win series for him. If Yoshii loses this series, he will go to the 18 points, which seems to be that perfect mark. And guess what? 18 points in the division that these guys are in is already claimed by potentially. This 18 points could potentially be claimed by 6 players. So Grass and Groom has already finished his tournament. He hit 18 points. Right now, Yoshii, I believe, is on 17 points. And Shadowfaxx is on 15 points. So if Shadowfaxx wins, he goes up to 18. If Yoshii loses, he goes up to 18. So that's 3 players at 18. Then you have Chemo, Matrius, and Skadi. If Chemo beats, I believe if Chemo beats Matrius and loses to Skadi, he goes to 18 points, Skadi goes to 18 points, and Matrius goes to 18 points for the most clusterfuck. I'm just going to say it. Clusterfuck of a ending playoff situation with 6 players all on the same score. What do we do in that position? No idea. Well, hopefully it doesn't end up happening. That's all we can say. There is a tiebreaker system where we go to head-to-head and plus versus minus. So we'll see how things end up going here as Yoshii grabbing his temple on this position. As we also see him moving over here onto these lions to eat those before moving on to the zebra. Now let's talk a little bit about this matchup, because this is a matchup which I don't think many players understand in the slightest. In the absolute slightest. So, Set versus Isis, what's the plan? Well, basically the plan here for Set is to go for Spirit of Mart. And you're going to laugh at me at first, but you have to understand this is good. Spirit of Mart, Priest, Siege, Crocodile. Against Isis, what can Isis do to stop this? Not a whole lot. It completely nullifies Ancestors Eclipse. That's coming around. Completely nullifies Ancestors Eclipse. The crocodiles come out of your Pharaoh as well after all is said and done. So you can also boost your defensive capabilities of the Priest with crocodiles. Oh, beautiful snipe there on that Priest as well by Yoshii. You snipe Yep, you do all that good stuff, and then you have your Ancestors as well after all is said and done with your siege weapons to push through. And there is no way to get yourself a second gold mine there as Isis in this matchup. What can Isis do against that? There's one thing that Isis can do and one thing only. So I told a lie, there is something. And that is Priest Siege yourself. Why? Because the Priest can deal with those crocodiles decently. They get a small boost against the Priest. Priest deal with Priest as well. You also have Prosperity to help get yourself even more Priest than the Set player does. And then it ends up being a very hilarious game of Priest Wars at the very beginning. And then the game turns into a standard Chariot Archer, Siege Tower kind of game with elephants coming out and things like that. And it starts becoming a very, very interesting Egyptian war. Now we'll see if these players actually understand that this is a strategy or not. It's kind of, you kind of have to be an Egyptian main and an Isis main or a Set main to really understand this and actually play against people who understand it, which don't really exist, as we already kind of know. So we'll see how things are going to go. As Shadowfaxx is the classical age first. Yoshii going through Dar here. He's got 13 villages on food, 6 on gold. So to me, this is looking like a fast heroic. But generally speaking, fast heroics, you want to be putting 2 villages on wood at some point to get yourself your pickaxe and your shaft mine. If you don't put them on wood, it can be a little bit tough. As Yoshii at this point over here finishing, or Shadowfaxx at this point finishing up with his zebra over here. I will note that this matchup was played without an observer. So we don't have that nice score thing. So you have to look down the bottom here when we change between perspectives to see where everyone's resources are. As the Sphinx coming through here to get a little bit of pressure done. Nice marker there from the Sphinx. Can actually dodge the projectiles of that priest nicely. As what does Yoshii have left over here? He's got a handful of units. So we do see the tar coming through there for Yoshii. And he's got himself his 800 food already. Just needs to get some gold income as well. He's probably going to want to move over here. This relic getting left on the ground is a very strange one to get left there. Toxotes, plus 5%. Big deal where that's concerned. So we'll see how it all goes. As Shadowfaxx about to be able to advance to the next stage. Grabbing that mining camp on this position as well. He does have himself pickaxe there as he's jumping onto the chickens over here. I like that play where he finishes up with the hunt and just moves over to a close gold mine instead of having a whole bunch of walking time. This is something that really good players do really well, is they try and mitigate as much walking time as you possibly can. And we'll see how things starting to go here as Shadowfaxx. I know Shadowfaxx is here. I know he's listened to me before. Class Prosperity with 12 villages on gold. And not only 12 villages on gold, only 7 villages being empowered by the Pharaoh. And no shaft mine. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep getting angry. Until we see Prosperity used better, I'm going to keep getting angry. So we'll see how it goes. Second town center actually coming up for Yoshii for... This game is going... The complete... This game is going a direction that I cannot understand. I don't understand the direction this game is going in the slightest. So what's the point? I don't understand. What's the point of putting this town center up at this point now? You put yourself behind in a timing attack matchup by around about 5 minutes. You put yourself behind for 5 minutes by getting this town center up. 5 minutes, and this relic is still getting left on the ground. And we already know that Yoshii is most likely going to be going chariots here. Oh, I'm so sad. All right, town center is also coming up for Shadowfaxx, who's also not put up his houses. This is honestly, this is a very sloppy. It's a very sloppy game here. Shadowfaxx accepting that Yoshii goes 2 town centers and then goes 2 town centers himself, saying no worries. I'm gonna up your bad play by a bad play myself. Why is the town center going up here bad for Isis? Well, he's basically saying, now you get the town center before me, and I'm putting myself behind by the same amount of timing in terms of the resources it takes to pay itself off. So basically you're saying that whatever timing you could potentially have hit is now gone, and the player who put the town center up first gets the advantage. As Nephthys hits here, Yoshii going to be putting down his Migdol stronghold most likely on this position. His Priest Pharaoh Giraffe coming through here, trying to deal with that as well onto this location here as well. And we'll see how everything is going to go as the Migdol comes down. The one advantage that Shadowfaxx should have here, and he actually doesn't, is that his Migdol stronghold should have been up first and be pumping units, but it looks like Yoshii, after all is said and done, as I put a ping onto it just to add insult to injury, has got his Migdol stronghold up at roughly the same amount of time here. And, well, I guess this is what happens. I actually thought Yoshii was a bit of an Egyptian player, but this is what happens when you see 2 non-Egyptian players playing. Yoshii has really managed to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, with Odin, with his dwarf early start, but he has yet to figure out the set builds, as everything is a bit strange going on here as the siege works comes up. Now let's take a look at the economic situation here for both of these players after all is said and done. We do see 13 villages currently on the gold for Shadowfaxx, 12 on food, 7 on wood. Yoshii, on the other hand, has got 15 on wood. He's got a significant villager advantage here, it would seem. He's got a lot more villagers on wood here. So I guess the point here is that with all the extra villagers on gold, you only need around about 7 or 8 villagers with a pharaoh on the empowerment to support your chariot archer production here. And you need around about, I think, 16 or 17 villagers on wood with hand axe to support the chariot archers as well. But I think the reason why there's more villagers on gold here for Shadowfaxx is so he can build some more priests. And I could be wrong about that. We'll have to wait and see. Shadowfaxx now starting to press forward here. He still doesn't have any siege towers out, so there's really no advantage to be had by attacking. Siege towers are vitally important in the chariot archer versus chariot archer war because it basically you place the siege tower in front of your army and then the units don't do any damage to each other unless you micro it, which can be a big thing. Nice attack there from Yoshii. He does actually snipe that chariot archer off. Good job there, as we do see Yoshii finally putting the girdle of Hippolyta into his temple, which gives him an extra 5% hit points onto his chariot archers. It's a huge upgrade. Though not quite as good as the other one, which is the Tusk of the Iron Boar, which does give your chariot archers 10% of a boost. For whatever reason. Don't ask me why. As we see this third town center coming up here, and there is a world here in which obviously Shadowfaxx is probably pretty aware of it. Set, out of all the Egyptian gods, does have the weakest late game. So if Shadowfaxx can get to the late game, he should be able to find a win in this matchup. However, Set does have the strongest early Mythic age here out of all 3 of the Egyptian gods, with the addition of being able to build rhinos to help you push, which are very, very difficult to deal with for Egyptian because you don't have any hack damage dealing heroes. You only have the pierce damage dealing heroes. And also these heroes here, very low damage. If you take a look, it's plus 200% bonus damage versus set animals. So they're only dealing like 9 damage a second versus a rhino, which has got a ton of pierce armor. As you see Yoshii retreating back. And obviously Shadowfaxx here going to be trying to boom this one up and just say, no worries, we're just going to wait, get ourselves set up and take this game late game. Yoshii, on the other hand, the big thing that Yoshii can do, which he is indeed doing a little bit of here, is he can continue to build these giraffe of Set to push a Mythic Age timing here. So we'll see if that's what he's going to go for. The weakness, obviously, is Shadowfaxx is going to have himself monuments. Monument protection really, really strong against Set because you can protect the Migdol strongholds here, protect the town center here, protect the town center at home, protect the town center at the top side. As we see the chariot archers searching around looking for some sort of an attack here in this game as the villagers retreating back into the tower. More chariot archers coming through for Shadowfaxx to start hitting these ones. Is this... Okay, the siege tower does only have a track rating of 5, so once the chariot archers start moving, they should be able to get away. Maybe they don't because they move at 5 speed. I don't know. She's still trying to build out all of his stuff. As we see, we're seeing some more giraffes. Yes, we are. So Yoshii prefers to build his giraffes manually, it seems. The weakness here is when you do this is that, I mean, if you delete one giraffe, you should get the next giraffe spawning immediately, I guess. Is that what happens? I'm not sure. Is Yoshii going to be able to advance to the Mythic Age here? He is deciding to go through Horus. Now, we'll see what the next step here is for Yoshii. But generally speaking, you have to accept you're not going to be having a late game. So take your villagers off of food, get yourself more monuments, and put everything into an attack. Has to be the plan here for Yoshii, as Shadowfaxx, sitting in the middle of the map, still has got access to his Ancestors Eclipse, and he has got his farms now set up fairly decently here. He's got himself the Sacred Cats, he's got himself the Irrigation. He is missing a very vital upgrade in Shaft Mine, which is definitely hurting his economy. Something very, very severe here. As we see the third town center coming up there for Yoshii as well. Pharaoh coming up onto this position to start empowering that one to boot there. As the siege towers rolling through here, and Yoshii probably should be thinking about getting himself fortified town centers as well. Shadowfaxx, on the other hand, here is getting himself fortified town centers. No masons coming through, so he's not really yet sniffed out the the tornado that's coming for him, as we do see the Ancestors Eclipse getting dropped down onto this position, attempting to get that Town Center up here as the Priest coming through to try and deal with this. Town Center is getting close to finishing. You have to right click on the Town Center. He misses it as Yoshii gets his third Town Center up. No problems here. Priest going to come through and clean up the majority of these minions as the Chariot Archer is getting some villager raids going on to this position as well. More units starting to move forward through the middle of the map here, as all of those minions will end up falling here. And you have to say, Shadowfaxx could be fairly happy about that one. Yoshii got to be fairly happy about that one because he's dealt with the Ancestors Eclipse. He's hit the Mythic Age. He's got himself the Rhinos. Does he have himself... Oh, don't get Shadoof. You don't need farms. You've already got 80 villagers. There's no more food things you need to buy here. You literally just need to make yourself Rhinos, Chariot Archers, Siege Towers, go. As we're seeing the Rhinos of Set getting sniped away for no reason there. Unfortunately, Yoshii getting out of position very severely there as the Priest going to get sniped down, trying to make some sort of an avenue for the Ancestors to get thrown down. As the Ancestors do get dropped onto this position, the Priests here, do they have funeral rites? No funeral rites for Shadowfaxx, but it is only Ancestors. It's not that useful, as we do see the Monument to the Soldiers up on that position to defend here. Do we see some more monuments getting thrown up? Looks like he doesn't need them. He's got the fortified towns and there's no masons just yet as champion chariots come through. Scorpion Men getting taken down there, as well as the Sphinx going to be going down on the back as well. As Yoshii needs to micro just a little bit more to take out those priests to let his Ancestors do a little bit more damage here. Shadowfaxx on the other... No, Yoshii on the other hand here, he's got 40 favor at this point. Where is his Pharaoh? I think his Pharaoh must have been taken out at this point, so he's not able to make himself any of those beautiful, beautiful Rhinos of Set here. As Shadowfaxx with the War Elephant coming through. The War Elephant's got 46% Pierce Armor at the moment, plus 495 HP, so it's a huge unit to just tank in the front of your army. And also with the help of having... I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Fortified town centers and the population. He's just got such an advantage over Yoshii at the moment. As Thoth comes through, the question is: do you hold your Mythic Age God power with the intention of using it on a Titan Gate here? Maybe, as we do see him. Well, it looks like no. Looks like Meteor dropping onto the units over here is going to be the option here. Huge Meteor drop onto those houses there, taking 3 houses in the temple down. That hurts Yoshii a lot here as well. As the siege works trying to come up, we do see a side Migdol coming through here as Shadowfaxx has got his eyes set on trying to force a gold staff here, hitting the back gold mine, the bottom gold mine, the middle gold mine, everyone. This one's almost out of gold as well, with only 1,800 gold remaining in it. Shadowfaxx at this point starting to make himself some siege, some catapults out of that siege tower there as well, as we do see the tornado coming through here to take out the Migdol stronghold on this position. The Phoenix coming through for Shadowfaxx to start harassing villagers over here, as the Pharaoh going to get taken down as well by that Migdol stronghold, as one more attack comes through, but the Phoenix going to be able to stay alive for a little bit longer. Yoshii is in complete disarray at this point. 120 population only here. He's got himself the trade route up, as well as the siege tower trying to break down the Migdol stronghold on this position, as elephants coming through here to try and take out this position as well. And in that, and at the 17th minute of the 42nd in the first game of this best of 3 for the Champions League, Yoshii decides to tap out here. Honestly, it just looked like it just looked like Yoshii was lost here. It looked like Yoshii was lost. I think Yoshii was expecting to see Norse, and his set seems to be a pocket pick to take out an opponent's Norse god. But Shadowfaxx kind of reads it. He goes with the Isis. I don't think that Isis is a great counter to set anyways, but we see Shadowfaxx bringing his Isis out, and both players, after all is said and done, honestly a little bit lost in this matchup, but Shadowfaxx manages to play the fundamentals nice enough that he stays alive and he gets the dub here. Really well played. Well, nice win here for Shadowfaxx. taking the first win. It's best of 3. Yoshi's got 2 games he needs to win to come back. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.